What if the reason you're not successful isn't because you're not talented? What if it's because you quit just before your breakthrough? Every year, millions of people start learning new skills, launch businesses, create YouTube channels, and chase big dreams. But most of them give up when things get hard. Here's the shocking part. The difficult phase, where most people quit, is often the exact place where success begins. So how do you know whether you should keep going or walk away? In this video, you'll discover a powerful idea from Seth Godin's best-selling book, The Dip, that can completely change the way you think about failure, persistence, and success. And by the end of this video, you may realize that your biggest opportunity is hiding inside the struggle you're facing right now. Before we start the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet. Let's begin. Have you ever started something with excitement, only to feel like giving up later? Maybe you began learning English, started a YouTube channel, went to the gym, or tried to build a new skill. In the beginning, everything felt exciting. You were motivated, hopeful, and full of energy. But then, something changed. Progress became slow. Results stopped coming. The work became harder than expected. Suddenly, the dream that once felt so close started feeling impossible. This difficult phase is what Seth Godin calls the dip. The dip is the gap between starting something and becoming successful at it. It is the period when excitement disappears and hard work takes over. Most people quit during this stage because they think they are failing. But here is the surprising truth. The dip is not a sign that you should stop. In many cases, it is a sign that you are getting closer to success. Think about a mountain climber. The closer they get to the top, the steeper and more painful the climb becomes. If they quit because the path gets difficult, they never experience the view from the summit. Life works the same way. Every meaningful achievement has a dip. Great musicians go through years of practice. Successful business owners face countless setbacks. Top athletes endure exhausting training sessions. Nobody reaches excellence without passing through difficult moments. The problem is that most people misunderstand the dip. They see obstacles and assume they have chosen the wrong path. They compare themselves to others and believe they are not talented enough. As a result, they quit too early. What they don't realize is that many successful people were once standing in exactly the same place. The dip acts like a filter. It removes those who are unwilling to continue and rewards those who keep moving forward. That is why only a small number of people become experts, leaders, and high achievers. Imagine digging for gold. After days of hard work, you find nothing. You become frustrated and decide to stop. Later, someone else continues digging just a little further and discovers a huge treasure. The difference between failure and success was only a few more feet. This is the power of understanding the dip. When you know that struggle is part of the journey, you stop seeing challenges as proof of failure. Instead, you see them as proof that you are growing. The key lesson is simple. Difficult moments do not always mean you are on the wrong path. Sometimes they mean you are closer to success than you think. And those who learn to survive the dip often discover opportunities that everyone else missed. One of the hardest decisions in life is knowing when to keep going. When challenges appear, most people immediately start asking themselves questions. Should I continue? Am I wasting my time? Maybe I'm not good enough. These doubts become louder every time things get difficult. Seth Godin explains that success is not just about working hard. It is also about knowing when a challenge is worth fighting through. Many people quit too early because they mistake temporary difficulty for permanent failure. They expect the journey to be smooth, and when obstacles appear, they assume something is wrong. But every worthwhile goal comes with moments of frustration, uncertainty, and disappointment. Think about learning a new language. At first, progress feels exciting. Every new word makes you feel smarter. But after some time, improvement becomes slower. You struggle to understand conversations. You forget words you learned yesterday. It feels like you are stuck. This is the moment when many people quit. But those who continue eventually reach a breakthrough. Suddenly, they begin understanding more. Speaking becomes easier. Confidence grows. What once seemed impossible starts feeling natural. The same pattern appears everywhere. A new YouTuber uploads videos for months without getting views. A business owner works tirelessly without making profits. A student studies hard but still receives average marks. These moments are painful because effort and results do not seem connected. Yet, often, success is quietly building beneath the surface. Imagine planting a seed. For days, nothing appears above the ground. It looks as if nothing is happening. But underneath, roots are growing stronger. If you stop watering the seed because you cannot see progress, you will never witness the tree. Challenges work the same way. Not every struggle is a sign to quit. Sometimes it's simply the price of growth. The people who achieve extraordinary things understand this. They know that progress is not always visible. They keep moving forward even when rewards are delayed. However, pushing through challenges does not mean blindly suffering forever. It means believing in a goal that is still worth pursuing. It means understanding that temporary pain can lead to long-term success. The real question is not, is this difficult? The real question is this difficulty taking me somewhere valuable? When the answer is yes, persistence becomes powerful. Most people give up when the road becomes uncomfortable. Winners often succeed because they stay on the road a little longer. The lesson is simple, but life-changing. Whenever you face a challenge, do not ask how hard it is. Ask whether the destination is worth the struggle. If it is, keep going. Your breakthrough may be much closer than it appears.
3. Evaluating which dips are worth the effort. Most people believe that successful people never quit, but Seth Godin shares a surprising idea. Successful people quit all the time. The difference is that they quit the wrong things and stay committed to the right things. This is one of the most important lessons in The Dip. Not every struggle deserves your time, energy, and efforts. Some challenges lead to growth and success, while others lead nowhere. The real skill is knowing the difference. Imagine you are walking through a dark tunnel. It is difficult, uncomfortable, and exhausting. If you know there is light at the other end, the struggle feels meaningful. But if the tunnel leads to a dead end, every step forward only wastes more time. Life is full of these situations. Sometimes people spend years chasing goals that no longer excite them. They stay in careers they dislike, continue projects that have no future, or follow paths simply because they have already invested so much time. They keep going, hoping things will magically improve. But hope alone is not a strategy. Seth Godin explains that before pushing through a dip, you must ask an important question. Will this challenge eventually lead to something valuable? If the answer is yes, then the dip may be worth enduring. If the answer is no, continuing may only create more frustration. Think about a student preparing for an important exam. The long hours of study, the stress, and the sacrifices are difficult, but the reward, a better future and greater opportunities, makes the struggle worthwhile. Now imagine spending years on a project that has no demand, no clear purpose, and no chance of success. The effort may be just as hard, but the destination is completely different. One path leads somewhere meaningful, the other leads nowhere. This is why intelligent quitting is so important. Many people think quitting is always a sign of weakness. In reality, quitting the wrong thing can be one of the smartest decisions you ever make. Every hour spent on a dead-end path is an hour that cannot be invested in a better opportunity. The most successful people protect their time carefully. They do not continue every battle. They choose the battles that matter. Imagine a mountain climber. Before starting the climb, they study the mountain, understand the risks, and decide whether reaching the summits is worth the effort. They do not climb every mountain they see. They focus on the ones that offer the greatest reward. Your goals deserve the same level of evaluation. When facing a difficult dip, ask yourself, does this path still match my dreams? Will the reward justify the sacrifice? Am I growing, learning, and moving closer to something meaningful? If the answer is yes, keep climbing. If the answer is no, it may be time to change direction. The lesson is powerful. Persistence is valuable, but persistence without purpose can be dangerous. True success comes from having the courage to quit what no longer serves you and the wisdom to continue what truly matters. The goal is not to endure every struggle. The goal is to endure the struggles that lead to a better future.
4. The importance of strategic decision-making in the dip. When people face difficult situations, they often rely on emotions to make decisions. They feel frustrated, so they quit. They feel afraid, so they stop trying. They feel tired, so they convince themselves that their goal is no longer important. But Seth Godin teaches that the most successful people do not make important decisions based on temporary emotions. They make decisions based on strategy. This becomes especially important when you are in the dip. The dip is a confusing place. Progress feels slow, results seem far away, doubts fill your mind. During these moments, emotions can easily trick you into making choices that you later regret. Imagine driving through a thick fog. You cannot clearly see the destination. If you panic and suddenly change direction, you may end up completely lost. The smarter choice is to trust the map, stay calm, and continue following the route you planned. Life works the same way. Many people start a business because they're excited. They begin learning a skill because they're motivated. They launch a YouTube channel because they dream of success. But when the dip arrives, excitement disappears. Suddenly, the business grows slowly. Learning becomes difficult. Videos receive very few views. At this point, emotions start shouting, "Quit! This isn't working!" Yet successful people ask a different question. Instead of asking, "How do I feel right now?" they ask, "What is the smartest long-term decision?" This small change in thinking creates a huge difference. Strategic decision-making means looking beyond today's discomfort and focusing on tomorrow's possibilities. It means evaluating facts instead of reacting to feelings. For example, a new YouTuber may upload videos for months without gaining many subscribers. Emotionally, quitting may seem reasonable, but strategically, if the channel is improving, the content quality is growing, and the audience is slowly increasing, continuing may be the smarter choice. On the other hand, if there is no learning, no improvement, and no clear path forward, adjusting the strategy or even quitting might be the wiser decision. Notice the difference. The decision is not based on fear or frustration. It is based on careful thinking. This is why Seth Godin encourages people to make important decisions before entering the dip whenever possible. When you are calm and clear-minded, decide what success looks like. Decide how much time, effort, and sacrifice you are willing to invest. Create rules for yourself. Then, when the dip arrives, you can follow your plan instead of your emotions. The people who achieve extraordinary results are rarely the smartest or the most talented. Often, they're simply the people who make better decisions during difficult times. They understand that every challenge presents a choice. You can react emotionally and give up, or you can think strategically and choose the path that serves your long-term goals. The lesson is simple but powerful. Success is not determined by how you feel during the dip. It is determined by the decisions you make while you are in it. Those who learn to think strategically during hard times often discover opportunities that emotional decisions would have caused them to miss.
5. Embracing the journey and the climb ahead. Most people are obsessed with the destination. They dream about success, achievement, recognition, and rewards. They imagine the moment when all their hard work finally pays off. But Seth Godin reminds us of something important. Success is not just about reaching the top. It is also about becoming the kind of person who can reach the top. And that transformation happens during the journey. The dip is not simply an obstacle standing in your way. It is a training ground. It is the place where patience is built, skills are sharpened, and character becomes stronger. Think about climbing a mountain. Everyone wants to stand on the summit and enjoy the breathtaking view, but very few people appreciate the steep trails, the exhausting steps, and the difficult climbs that make reaching the summit possible. Yet without the climb, there is no victory. Life works exactly the same way. Every challenge you face teaches you something valuable. Every setback gives you experience. Every mistake reveals a lesson. Even the moments that feel painful today may become the reason for your success tomorrow. Unfortunately, many people spend so much time wishing the journey were easier that they forget to grow from it. They complain about obstacles instead of learning from them. They focus on how far they still have to go instead of recognizing how far they have already come. But successful people see things differently. They understand that the journey itself has value. A person who learns a new skill develops discipline. An entrepreneur who struggles through difficult years gains wisdom. A creator who keeps producing content despite low views builds resilience. These qualities cannot be bought, borrowed, or learned from a book alone. They are earned through experience.
Imagine two people arriving at the same destination. One took shortcuts and avoided every challenge. The other fought through obstacles, failures, and setbacks. Both may reach the goal, but the second person has gained something far more valuable: the strength to handle even bigger challenges in the future. That is the hidden gift of the dip. It changes you. The person who enters the dip is often very different from the person who emerges from it. Along the way, confidence grows, skills improve, and self-belief becomes stronger. What once seemed impossible begins to feel achievable. This is why embracing the journey matters so much. When you stop viewing challenges as enemies and start viewing them as teachers, everything changes. Difficult moments become opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" That question can transform your entire perspective. The road to success is rarely straight. There will be obstacles, delays, disappointments, and moments when you feel like turning back. But every step forward is preparing you for the opportunities that lie ahead. The lesson is clear. Do not focus only on the destination. Learn to appreciate the climb, because one day, when you finally reach the top, you will realize that the journey itself was what made the achievement truly meaningful. And sometimes, the person you become along the way is even more valuable than the success you were chasing.
6. Conclusion. Leveraging the dip for greater success. As we reach the end of the dip, one powerful message becomes clear. Success is not reserved for the most talented people. It often belongs to those who understand how to navigate difficult times without giving up too soon. Throughout life, every meaningful goal comes with challenges. Whether you are building a business, learning a new skill, growing a YouTube channel, improving your career, or chasing a personal dream, there will be moments when progress feels painfully slow. These moments are not accidents. They are part of the journey. Most people see difficulty as a stop sign. They assume that struggle means they are failing. As a result, they quit and move on to something else. Then, when the next challenge appears, they quit again. Years pass, but they never stay on one path long enough to achieve excellence. The people who succeed understand something different. They know that the dip is often the bridge between average performance and extraordinary results. They recognize that growth happens when others are giving up. They understand that persistence creates opportunities that cannot be seen from the starting line. But Seth Godin also teaches that success is not about stubbornly continuing everything. True wisdom comes from knowing which challenges deserve your effort and which paths should be left behind. This balance is what makes the book so powerful. Keep going when the reward is meaningful. Quit when the path leads to nowhere. Think strategically instead of emotionally. Trust the process when progress feels invisible. And most importantly, understand that temporary discomfort is often the price of long-term success. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain. Looking up, the climb seems impossible. The path is steep, the weather is uncertain, and the summit feels far away. Many people will never begin. Others will start, but turn back when the journey becomes difficult. Only a few will continue climbing, and those who reach the top will discover something remarkable.
The greatest reward is not just the view from the summit, it is the strength, confidence, discipline, and wisdom they gained during the climb. That is the true lesson of the dip. Every challenge contains an opportunity. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every difficult season has the potential to shape a stronger version of yourself. So the next time life becomes difficult, do not immediately assume that you are on the wrong path. Pause and ask yourself, is this a temporary dip that leads to growth, or is it a dead end that requires a new direction? The answer to that question may change your future, because success is not about avoiding the dip. Success is about understanding it, learning from it, and using it as a stepping stone toward a bigger and better life. Those who master the dip don't just achieve more, they become more. And that is what ultimately leads to lasting success. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to Unlock Your English Potential channel. Your support motivates me to create more useful learning content for you. Bye for now. See you in the next video.